Welcome back to CEO 2026. The wheel of fate is turning, and we are back with Blaze Blue Central Fiction Top 8. I'm Salty Boy, joined here with Avian.
Yes,
it's going to be a great block.
Dude, I have been waiting for this literally all weekend. Like, I've been running back and forth. Oh, gotta go watch Guilty Gear. Oh, gotta go play Avatar. Listen, do you know where I've been hovering in the shadows? Like a background character ready to strike. It's always got to be the Central Fiction setups, man. Like, this is always my favorite part of the tournament. And, of course, the top 8 with the caliber of players that we have here today. I'm looking at the bracket right now and literally salivating. Like, these are going to be some crazy matches.
Absolutely. I can already hear in your voice. I hear you are very tired already,
yes.
But you're saving. You're still saving. You're still holding on to it. That thread for this block here, for top 8, for Blaze Blue Central Fiction. And we'll be starting it off with Koopa Claus versus Fenritti. Now, there's something very notable about this matchup, and you know what it is?
What is it?
Koopa Claus beat Fenritti at Combo Breaker 2026. Koopa Claus, his first ever CEO, if I remember correctly, and one of the first tournaments he's shown up to in quite a while, actually. I think one of the last tournaments he's shown up to was Frosty Faustings back in 2019. So it's been a very long time since he's actively been practicing and playing this game, and let me tell you, in 2026, he's coming out in a big way.
Yeah, and what a tournament to get back on your feet here with one as prestigious as CEO and coming in here in the winners semifinals already with a good grip on Fenritti, literally there with the air throw, has the bits out for the extension. Gonna have to see where it goes here. Fireball out, Ribcage should be coming out soon. Only one mix-up to do though, you are gonna be going in danger state soon.
Yes, you have to be able to manage that barrier. Hopefully you can try to find an opening on Fenritti before that ribcage runs out. So during your combo, the ribcage can recover like we're seeing right here. As you can see, that red gauge starting to fill all the way back up to green. Now Fenritti in a critical range already. Koopa Claus still holding on to that OD, popping that ribcage once again. Let's see if we can open up Fenritti. Yes, we will!
Oh man, opening up literally everyone there. Crush trigger. It takes the conversion all the way to the bank. Koopa Claus with a dominant first round, trying to start off this top 8 with a bang.
Absolutely. Also rocking one of the strongest characters in this game. And just because of how over-centralizing Ribcage can be once she pops it. And that makes it really hard for Jin because we want to be outspacing the opponent with our C buttons, like our 5C, our 3C, our JC. But you can't really do that when Ribcage is right up in your face.
Right. Gets a cheeky little frame trap there off the RC. Not going to be able to kill, though. There's too much health on the side of Koopa Claus. Great tech to try to stay in this thing. And the trade, once again, makes it so it's not completely in Fenrich's favor.
Yeah, Koopa Claus trying to create that space by popping that rib cage. We are low on barrier, though, so Fenritti can just go for a chip kill, and Koopa Claus knew it was inevitable.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to take a deep breath. Go on to the next one here because Fenritti now going on a bit of a tear of his own, trying to continue his reign of terror here. Koopa Claus on the other side, trying to play just a little bit of defense and extends it there with the burst.
I mean, Avian, it's all about getting that really good start here from Fenritti, and Fenritti being able to keep that advantage going the entire way through. Because the thing about Izanami is that I'm not going to be a crazy person and say that her defense is terrible, but her defense isn't necessarily the best because she has to rely a bit more on system mechanics like the counter assault, like invincible supers, like overdrive, right? So not having access to a meterless DP can be a pretty big deal when you're playing against Jin, who is such a very aggressive character.
Man, speaking of Jin there, saw Fenritti pop the OD, didn't get much off of it though. Actually, push the advantage there for Koopa Claus instead.
All right, here we're just dancing in a mid-screen, now popping that rib cage. You can see that Fenritti, like a moth to the flame, trying to hit Koopa Claus outside of that unblockable state that Izanami was in. Koopa Claus knowing that, popping it at the last moment and catching Fenritti off guard, checking him. There it is, the DPR trying to get out, but it does not work out. Koopa Claus chasing Fenritti up into the air and it taking him out, taking game number 1.
Man, game 1 over to Koopa Claus. It feels like each of those rounds was like, I mean, you already know that both these players are fluid in their offense, right? It's like Koopa Claus knows how to pilot the Izanami. Fenritti making offense look ridiculous, even on a character like Jin. Like, it's basically about whoever gets the first touch, and Koopa Claus just got 2 of them instead of 1.
Right. And right here, I'm sitting here wondering if Fenritti has really practiced against a lot of Izanami before he showed up to CEO, because I remember at EVO, you could tell that practice against Carl was showing through in preparation for Excalibur Blaze. I wonder if the same could be said here against Koopa Claus after playing against him at Combo Breaker. But we'll just have to see. Fenritti popping that EA, going to be getting that active flow and getting a decent amount of damage to boot as well on top of Koopa Claus.
Ooh, Crush Trigger's going to be online soon here. Alexa spend the meter on the EX Snowflake instead.
All right, yeah, no, we haven't hit Koopa Claus just yet in this sequence, but we've essentially pushed Koopa Claus all the way to the corner, allowing us to go for our most optimal of combos.
Yep, give me that 2-2-C. Standard extension there, just wants to go for one more mix-up. Plenty of time to confirm off of the 6ARC. And Fenritti trying to get himself on the board as well.
Yeah, 6A, a very tricky overhead there, starting at 19 frames. Hard to react to, but can only be comboed off of counter hit or RC. So you got to make sure that you always have one or the other before you can combo off of it in the first place. Koopa Claus now trying to push that aggression here on Fenritti, starting things off of Fenritti with a fantastic anti-air, catching Koopa Claus out of the air, snatching him and bringing him down to the ground.
Koopa Claus going with a bit of an unorthodox strategy here, goes for the burst. He wants to go ahead and give himself some barrier gauge and try to reactivate Ribcage instead of going to danger and letting it refill on its own.
Now we're going to be seeing how fluent Fenritti is in his offense with this next sequence, or we might not even have to worry about that because I think Fenritti is going to lock it right into this super, sending Koopa Claus into a state where we are now tied here in this set, 1-1 apiece.
Beyond dead here. Not sure if we're doing first to 3 here for this top 8 or first to 2 until finals, but regardless, I mean, you got to be feeling some pressure on both parties.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm 100%, I'm like 99% sure it's first to 2, so the tension is really high at this moment.
Man, first to 2. Got the first to 1 essentially against Izanami. Man, if anyone can clutch that, it would be Fenritti, but I mean, Koopa Claus, he's shown he can do it. He can show he can do it again. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You can see Fenritti popping in that 6A, fishing for a counter hit, or not, right? It is adding up a little bit of damage over time as well and kind of resetting us back to a sort of neutral state where Fenritti can make another read to control that corner. Now we're back in amidst creating Koopa Claus, popping that Ribcage raw just like so. Not going to find an opening there on Fenritti. Fenritti popping that OD, Koopa Claus backing up because we are in that blockable stance. Ooh, gets the bits off just in time! And now Koopa Claus gets to use this combo not only to attack on damage to Fenritti, but to get that barrier gauge back as well. Gonna be put in more of that incredibly potent offense.
Yes, Koopa Claus now continuing to mount this pressure here on Fenritti, but Fenritti able to jump out and escape. Ice Car coming through into the 6ARC burst from Koopa Claus, and we're resetting back to neutral. Fenritti still has that OD, still has that burst left in the tank. I don't know if we want to be popping that burst.
No way. Even if you pop that burst, you know you're gonna get barrier back in a second.
Yeah,
very nice.
Holding on to it.
Oh!
We can't find a throw. Oh! We find a throw counter. Even better here for Fenritti.
Oh my gosh. That was the most painful 75 seconds ever if you're a Koopa Claus fan. It seemed like he had that victory in his hands there. And immediately, Fenritti comes through, just decides to snatch it right away.
Absolutely, that's just how it goes. Now Fenritti threatening set point here against Koopa Claus. Koopa Claus once again trying his best to open up Fenritti, but while we have such a great offense, it cannot be understated how good of a defense Fenritti has, staying ice cold there into the corner, and now putting Koopa Claus into the freezer here. So much damage, so much life loss. One more opening is all Fenritti needs. We're not going to find it just yet.
If you drop this combo, you will lose. You literally can't. Barrier up. Gets the throw. Now all of a sudden the barrier comes right back. Shouldn't be enough to kill. Should need one more hit. But Koopa Claus trying to make it close. Trying to make me be wrong here.
Able to roll out of the corner. Fenritti now turning the tables here on Koopa Claus. OD activation.
Oh! He's not going to kill here. Still needs one more. Has plenty of barrier to go back into the Ribcage mix.
Scaling is ridiculous. Fenritti popping the OD. What's it going to be? Ah! Oh my god! The freeze! At just the right moment. The barrier running out at just the right moment as Ribcage falls. The defenses falls and Fenritti breaks through into winners finals.
How in the world do you navigate that scramble after the OD? And man, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like they're processing the game 10 times faster than we are, man. It is crazy.
Absolutely. And you can see Fenritti using every single one of the tools in his toolkits to his maximum capability. And we got to talk about, like, that air button, right? Like, you know, imagine if we gave Agito to Jin, except he didn't. It wasn't tied to a special move. Like,
yes.
Yeah, that's pretty darn good.
I think if I was a Jin player, I think I'd want that. That sounds quite good. That sounds quite good.
You know, along with your 19-frame overhead and your 2 reversals. Jin's a very good character that we actually don't see get played a lot outside of Fenritti coming in to the States to go play every now and then.
From my pilgrimage, my Jin pilgrimage, I've learned he's quite hard. And I would not want that pressure in the first 2. So honestly, he's got it.
Yeah.
You really just got to mess with Jin if you want to play that character in a tournament.
Well, you're talking about difficulty, and you play Arakune, so
yes.
That's also a pretty difficult character.
I think that Jin is harder.
Really? Okay.
I think Jin is harder.
I can see it.
Like, maybe not in terms of like, oh, like my B&B is harder or whatever, right? But just the awareness that you need to have to like really succeed with Jin is kind of nuts. And it's definitely a lot more overrated than I was thinking initially.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And on that same note of execution-heavy characters, Excalibur Blaze and Uri are going to be the next 2 players up, also rocking very difficult characters to pilot in the form of Carl and Lychee. Excalibur Blaze actually in a multi-top 8 here at the same time, literally playing an Avatar and a Blaze Blue at the same time here in a top 8. But Excalibur Blaze has always had his home here in Blaze Blue Central Fiction, really being the king of this game for all of 2025. But I will say, in 2026, things have started to look a little bit rocky for our king. The hat, the headpiece here, the crown has felt a little heavy because with Evo, we got 3rd. At KGP, we got 5th, which was actually his worst performance yet at an offline major, which is actually crazy to think about, right?
Yeah, I was like, I think that's
5th place?
His worst performance, which is insane. Like, yo, you go to every major, right? Because I mean, he's been everywhere. He's been to Frosty, he's been to CEO, been to CB. He's won all of them. Like, won all of them, not just done well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It really feels like it's coming full circle as well, because this was the first breakout major performance Excalibur Blaze had last year at CEO at the same location. So Excalibur Blaze kind of looking to reprise his victory from last year here with the Carl once again, and that is certainly one way to start it. Find that over, gain the confirm with the OD, and gain this corner position.
Man, I mean, I don't know how Excalibur Blaze does it, man. He's playing probably the hardest character in both of the games that he's playing right now. He's playing Carl Clover here in Blaze Blue as he goes here, gets the perfect against Uri, showcasing the dominance that he's seen throughout all of 2025, but also he has to run back basically with no warm-up and plays it here in Avatar. Just nuts.
Yeah, an insane player, that's for sure. Whatever he puts his mind to right now, his mind is set on beating Uri as quickly as possible. That first round going by like a breeze, but now Uri finally getting some offense started. Lychee being another very scary character. And actually, Lychee is a character that can kind of make it so the doll is hard to use because of how that staff works and fills up the screen as such a high priority projectile.
Man, but that's what Excalibur Blaze is doing so well right now. We're basically never seeing Minerva, bro. We're never seeing Nirvana at all.
Yeah, no, we are not. But when she does show up, especially on offense, things get really scary here. Nice usage of the clap to extend that combo. Now the doll is on top of you, finds the throw, and that is going to be wraps here for this round, or not quite. Uri's still alive.
Alakan missed. It feels like a very rare execution error from Excalibur Blades. Now has to try to play this slow. Recognizes he has a massive life lead, so shouldn't try to overextend just too much.
Yeah, using the staff, keeping it as active as possible, kind of keeping it close at home to Nirvana so that we can hit it whenever we need to. Nice avoidance of the projectiles. You always want to avoid that. If you get hit by that, you essentially will lose in this position. And we do find that hit here against Excalibur Blaze. Now this is where things get really spooky here as the Carl player, because you don't have Nirvana next to you, and you also don't have enough really health to, take another hit. So we got to start gambling on something like Counter Assault or that burst in OD coming back very soon.
Uh-oh. Man, as you mentioned, no Nirvana at all. 5 more seconds. Gets clipped.
Oh my god, it blocks the DP and it makes it in. Not even a punish. But just gets that final hit there with the 5A. Excalibur Blades taking that first game, but man, that was so close.
Yeah, I mean, so far, I would say, Fenritti is playing really well considering how long his hiatus was in this game.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Like, the last time I remember watching from him was Combo Breaker. I believe it was, what, 2019, I think?
He's played at some events a little bit closer than that. He showed up at EVA 2025 and also Frosted Faustings 2024. But it really is just like Uri only shows up to maybe 1 or 2 Blaze Blue Central Fiction offline events a year.
Yeah.
So like he's not a super active player, but has consistently made top 8, showing that he's still a very strong player, a very strong threat, one of the best light G players. But can all of that skill be enough to take down the reigning champion Excalibur Blades? Right now, Uri is trying to make that point here as we are fighting for our life in a neutral, but unable to find any significant hit against Excalibur Blades just yet.
I mean, so far, it feels like Uri, like you said, kind of nickel and diming his way through this neutral situation, grabbing some quick hits there with the bow staff, but nothing really concrete. Excalibur Blades, the complete opposite, just waiting, lurking in the depths of that water, waiting to get a massive hit, and gets the burst bait as a consolation prize.
Oh, but the super will connect here with Excalibur Blades, getting us a way out of this corner and actually putting us right next to the staff as well, which is exactly where Uri wants Excalibur Blades to be. Nirvana also looking a little bit worse for wear, so Excalibur Blades taking some time to charge up Nirvana before we start to commit to anything here in neutral. We do have the health advantage, so we don't have to approach just yet.
I like that there. Slow and steady wins the race, says Excalibur Blades. Oh,
7
my
seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Oh!
1. And Excalibur Blades, while we didn't find the final hit, we just had enough health to win on timeout.
How did that 6-2-3 connect there, Uri? Just a fatal mistake and one that didn't even kill him. Like, that's an oxymoron.
But now Uri has to probably like reassess how they want to be approaching this matchup, right? Because Excalibur Blades has shown like, hey, I'm going to just sit here at full screen. You can toss out your staff all you want. I'm going to avoid it. I'm going to block it. You're not going to be doing any damage to me, and I'm going to be able to win by timeout. So Uri has to play more aggressive, and once we start playing more aggressive, that's where Excalibur Blades takes advantage of Uri not having options like the staff to always back her up.
Yep. As you can already see, Uri has, oh no, trying to go for the unblockable. Again, execution mistakes.
Oh no, the counter gets blocked.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no, in the burst bait! Excalibur Blades really cementing this round as a win, but can we take it all the way? Uri is still alive and not out just yet. Chasing Excalibur Blades down, once again playing aggressive like I mentioned before, but there it is, breaking in that offense. Excalibur Blades find the right option to escape and take the round, take the game, and winning 2-0 to winners finals.
XCL said, listen, you don't get a guard cancel, you don't get a burst, you don't get to use staff, you don't get any of your defensive options. Just smothers Uri there. And I mean, I gotta say though, even though that was a very dominant win, you are starting to see some of the cracks in the armor there from Excalibur Blades. Missed multiple, if Uri was a little bit more aware, really fatal Alicans. Like, it was really like out of character to see him make really simple execution mistakes like that. Like, one of the first things you learn when you're playing Carl is, oh, I got an Alican right here. I got an Alican right there. And to see him miss simple execution mistakes like that, like, we really got to make sure he has some time to like warm up in between those games.
Yeah, it is definitely a little unlike Excalibur Blades, but maybe you could chalk it up to Avatar being played at the same time. But, you know, you can't always blame all of your losses or your mistakes on double bracketing like that. But right now, I mean, Excalibur Blades sitting pretty up there in the winners finals versus Fenritti, which, man, oh my god, that's going to be a reprisal of losers finals from EVO 2026. And let me tell you, that has been probably my set of the year. That was such an insane set. Seeing how Fenritti was able to take everything he's learned and, you know, getting that rematch against Excalibur Blades in a bracket and making so many moments that just stick rent-free in my head.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we get to run that back once again at literally the next major, well, I guess I guess that that Kansai was a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Right. But next NA major is really just so sick, man. I mean, both these players are so good. Like, you will continually see them in the winners finals, winners semifinals, winners side of top 8. Like, it's just that consistency that we've come to know and love.
I mean, there's a reason why Fenritti was regarded as the best BlazBlue Central Fiction player, undisputed for as long as he was. In a way, it also feels like Fenritti is kind of taking back that crown, because back in 2019, back in 2018, he was getting first place at CEO every single time. And now that he's finally back, he's taken a essentially 7-year break here from CEO, finally showing back up. And, you know, trying to take back that win. We've had some different eras here at CEO. We had the Fenritti era, then we had the DGF era,
yes.
And now we're in the Excalibur Blades era. But, you know, with all these players here in top 8, everyone is trying to get that shot at taking down either Fenritti or Excalibur Blades, and these two players are certainly not an exception, as we have Ruka versus Dawn.
Yep, Ruka and Dawn. Dawn, I would definitely say a little bit more of a new gen. And then Ruka has been like the old fashioned for a while, man. Like everything from, you know, Guilty Gear all the way back over now to BlazBlue. I mean, he has been, I guess a gatekeeper is the wrong word, right? Like he's too good to be considered a gatekeeper, considering the wins that he has, considering the placements that he's gotten. You know, second at EVO a few years ago, gets top 8 at just about every event, from your splashbacks to your CEOs, basically anything that he's out at. Right, but it's like he hasn't really gotten that big major win in a minute, man. Like, and it's really gonna be sick to see him try to go for that here.
Right, the closest he's gotten was like second at Beach Episode earlier this year, second at EVO 2024. He is a very good player, but it's so hard for him to get that first place result that he's constantly looking for. But man, let me tell you, Ruka has also traveled quite far to make it out to CEO this weekend, coming in from Washington, the literal other corner of the United States,
yes,
to come compete here in CEO. I'm especially excited to see how Ruka is going to perform here against Dawn, because this matchup is very interesting. And I love how I feel like two playstyles kind of clash. You know, Dawn can be pretty aggressive, take a lot of risks, but Ruka is such a strong, fundamental player. He doesn't do really anything too risky. You know, he doesn't really step out of his boundaries terribly often. Just very solid S play.
Yeah, I mean, his S, I feel like at least in an A, kind of like popularized the style of playing back, utilizing the fireballs. You know, only really taking aggressive approaches when you have already landed the hit. And it's been working wonders for him, for Monarch, for everyone who's adopted that playstyle in terms of the NAS scene.
Yeah, I will say though, you know, Ruka being rather risk adverse is not always the case, because sometimes he'll just pop one of those random install supers just because.
I mean, the chip player's got to come out sometimes.
Right, exactly, exactly. But right now, Ruka's looking a little worse for wear. We're trying our best to try and open up Dawn here in neutral, but Dawn is controlling it so well with the doll.
Oh man, going so with the doll. Should only be one more touch here. And blocks roll on the high.
A raw Duos Bios, and tries to knock Ruka into the Duos Bios. Doesn't end up working. Dawn's still in a very good position. Ruka trying to fish for these 6B anti-airs, but no dies. Finally finding a hit there with that 2A, but trying to go for a cheeky reset, and Dawn finding really nice trades to take the win regardless.
Man, a very scrappy end of the set there, or sorry, excuse me, very scrappy end of the round there. Now we got to see if Dawn is able to follow it up with something a little bit more clean, but I mean, he thrives in the scrambles, man. Like, that's one of the beauties of playing thousands and thousands of games, is you get really good at knowing exactly what to do in some of these more unknown scenarios.
And being a puppet character, you can cover so many avenues on the screen. You can cover the ground with the puppet and take to the air with Relius. We're seeing that Duos Bios raw, and now it's a link, all these CPs, or you die, and Ruka's not able to do that. Overdrive to get that combo, and Dawn is going to put Ruka into a critical situation. One more touch. Going all in with that 5C. Ruka now has Dawn into the corner. What is that next mix-up we're going to be looking for here?
Man, I said earlier that it's like, listen, we're only going to see those risks of Ruka when guaranteed. I forgot to mention the resets. Like, I feel like that's also a staple of the playstyle.
JT.
Oh my
god! Burst comes out here from Dawn. Ruka still alive, but the doll right behind Ruka, snatching him from behind.
Man, you got to be careful when Wifey is off the scene, but also when you don't see the charging indicator on the bar, you got to be like, all right, she's got to be here somewhere, and has a lot, and I mean a lot of advancing attacks. So even if she's off screen, she'll still find a way to get to you.
Yeah, but I'll say Ruka is playing a character that is notable for being able to deal with puppets a lot easier than other characters because of our fantastic normals like 5C, 5B, JB, JC, 2C, 2B, 3C. I'm just going through the whole list of moves here from S. They're all so good. 5A is ridiculous. 2A is pretty good too. JA is pretty decent.
Have we missed any normals or command normals?
JD's pretty awesome. Well, you don't really use JD to deal with the doll anyways.
You do that to mix you and get like 3.8K. But like,
yeah, right.
Other than that, I mean, S's arsenal, very, very strong, very balanced.
Nice combo here from Dawn, taking Ruka to the corner. And once again, I mean, it's just a great start here for Dawn, and Ruka unable to find his footing.
You gotta block all these mix-ups. You can't block the crush trigger.
Yeah, I think there might be a little bit of unfamiliarity in this matchup as well because Dawn is realizing that, hey, you can get away with raw duelist BIOS a lot. Because normally, you want to be only using it when you get your opponent into a hard knockdown state so you can guarantee that, yeah, duelist BIOS is going to lock them in. But when we do it raw like that, what you can actually do as Ruka is you can just jump in the air and purposely get hit by the doll, by duelist BIOS. And that kind of puts you into an awkward state where Dawn can't really combo you and you fall out of it.
Right. I mean, listen, when's the last time you've really seen a Relics outside of Dawn? Especially for someone like Ruka who doesn't travel that much. Like, this matchup experience is only going to come from one guy.
Yeah, Dawn is like the only person playing this character. Like, I guess there's like Mioro who's shown up rather recently. Like, coming back, because he is a bit of an old head. But no, there's not a lot of Relius players currently representing this character that Ruka may fight against.
Yeah, I like that there, catching the back dash or the jump. Whichever one you prefer.
JC, 5D, duelist BIOS, and we're going to go right under. But I like that counter assault there from Dawn, tossing Ruka back into the doll and putting Ruka back into a very dangerous position here. Oh, waiting for the fist bump. There we are. There we are.
If you just saw the player cam, you wouldn't know who won that set. Like, Dawn looked so upset at winning.
He's like shaking his head. He's like, oh, man. This is what they're putting me through.
That's the drive that gets you to win tournaments, though, right? Is it's like, listen, it doesn't matter if it was 2-0. It doesn't matter if I won like 4 rounds straight. If it's not as dominant as I would like it, what are we doing here?
Yeah, and I think there are also, once again, like that unfamiliarity in the relays matchup start to show through in that final interaction as well. Ruka thinking that, oh yeah, he had a free highway all the way to Dawn from the air just like that with that air dash. But no, you do not, because the doll's going to come back up and then, boom, swipe you out of the air. So, yeah, no, unfortunately, that does end Ruka's run, but Ruka being able to make 7th place in a very stacked bracket, a very large bracket here for BlazBlue Central Fiction, totaling up to, I believe, 185 entrants to be exact. Okay. A very big showing, the biggest showing for BlazBlue Central Fiction at CEO ever.
So sick. I mean, it's like you said, we've got, this game has evolved from being like, basically the side game of a lot of like the Street Fighter and like Fatal Fury players and all them, like, because what I was being told earlier on was like, oh, okay, like, people would come through and it would be like, you know, like Dogura and Fenritti and all them, and they'd come through and be like, oh, haha, I guess there's BlazBlue here. Let's enter it and just win it, right?
Right.
Now, because of the fact that people are taking this game so seriously, we have now developed a new scene where we kind of saw it a little bit at EVO this year, where some of the players who kind of were used to coming through, kind of winning for free, have to lock in a little bit if they want to continue that same reign of dominance.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And one of the players that we're seeing up here on that stage proves exactly that, what you're talking about here. DGF fitting in that like a glove, you know, trying to keep that momentum going, you know, after Fenritti left back in like 2019. DGF has kind of been dominant here at BlazBlue Central Fiction at CEO for like a good few years, you know, gained that first place pretty easily, but now he has to start putting in more work because the competition is coming back to CEO. The really strong players are starting to grind harder and harder again, so DGF is starting to fall behind a little bit.
I mean, as you can see, right, it's like, I mean, he's starting out losers. So clearly the competition has gotten stronger because going from just winning the tournament, not necessarily for free, but might as well be, going from that to now, oh, I have to try and win this thing from the loser side with players like Fenritti and XCal and Koopa Claus all sitting there in the winners, potentially to come see me in losers in my path. Like, just a night and day difference in terms of the skill level.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll also have you note that DGF did lose to Fenritti earlier on in the top 24. Actually, his first time playing him in a bracket, so that was a great first time experience for him. But also at the same time, you're now in the losers, and you're playing Yuki Terumi here against Rachel Alucard. Now, I don't usually like to make it a point of, oh, you're playing Terumi, one of the worst characters in the game, yada, 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 right? Because DGF makes it look like Terumi is one of the best characters in the game with how he plays this character. And it really just comes down to DGF excelling in the scramble unlike any other player, being able to move so fast, take advantage of off any little hit, and play defense by essentially not playing defense, by not blocking. He's always escaping your pressure, always escaping at every single moment you don't expect him to.
No, 100%. I mean, like you already said, I mean, DGF is a master of making this character look viable, right? It's like, I mean, basically you're on Terumi, you have strike throw, and that's kind of it. You have an overhead, you have like a command grab, I guess. But I mean, look at what Rachel's got, man. Like, you got the wind, you've got crazy anti-airs on the 6A, the electric chair. Like, just in terms of the amount of tools that we're looking at, again, a night and day difference.
Yeah, Terumi is going to be a super aggressive character, one of the fastest run speeds in the game, and is wanting to be as close up to you as possible, gaining a lot of meter as well. Very high damage character once he finds that hit as well, but it's all about opening the opponent, finding that hit, and that's what I mean by that scramble. We got to find the hit in the scramble rather than during the pressure sequence, because we lack a really good low here with Terumi, making it so that, after you get pushed a certain distance from an option like barrier, don't have a really good way to continue that pressure.
Hey, listen, we got throws and mids, man. You better take it or leave it.
Yeah, we're seeing right there with that barrier, you can see DGF being pushed out so far and not being able to do anything, kind of like a sitting duck. As we have George there sitting on the screen, DGF, though, getting just close enough to make that George proc and avoid it entirely.
All right, got some fans on you. What are you going to do about it here, DGF? He said, I'm going to 5C.
He's going to get up close, he's going to 5C, and we're also sitting on 100 meters, so you know what else is likely? Super dive kick. DGF loves that super, not only as a defensive mechanic to get out, but also as a way to engage the opponent, and we're going to be finding a super big out the burst from Maigo. DGF being on the back foot, but somehow making that comeback.
Man, it peeped the timer as well. You see it there, the OD stopping the timer, giving DGF just enough time to not only win the round, but take Maigo's burst in the process.
And this is a massive here for DGF. We're going to be getting that OD much faster than Maigo will be. And if we can, get out of this position and start running pressure of our own, we're going to be in a very good spot.
Uh-oh. Here we go. We got bats on bats.
Yeah, while Rachel wants to be a zoner most of the time, she's very bipolar with how she likes to play the game. She's either, being a very passive zoner, filling up the screen, or we're like this, where we're a hyper-aggressive rush-down character that has an incredibly strong mix-up game and a lot of damage. I mean, look at DGF's life bar.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like he maybe only got hit with what, like maybe one combo, one sequence, and, just the rest of that was just chipping away slowly but surely at that health bar. That's how we got to this position right now.
But hey, we've seen DGF excel in this position in that previous round, and we're going to be excelling with some nice 5C connections there on Maigo.
Listen, if you're a master of your offense, you truly only need one touch. And DGF showcasing that principle right now.
Getting that crush trigger, unfortunately not able to find the full combo. Maigo feeling pretty good about that. Counter assault coming out. Maigo still being able to preserve that burst, preserve that OD. Does not have a lot of win stocks left in the tank though, so that is DGF's opportunity to try and approach Maigo. Waiting for these Lobelias, waiting for these Lotuses to proc, trying to get around them, but no dice. DGF now going to be holding on to that burst for this next round.
Man, all of a sudden, Maigo on the board, kind of in terms of the matchup as you expected, right? It's like you can't really get too much going on with Terumi, but Terumi hitting the once I hit you, you already know it's going to be a world of pain.
Hey, Evan, did you react to that overhead?
Absolutely not. I never have. Never have.
All right, bats are on you. Find that tech.
I hope he reacted to that, though. Purple, though, that's push-ups. You already know how we do.
All right, backing up, trying to avoid the lightning. Now should be our time to get in. Not close enough for that 5C just yet. Trying to get Maigo to spend these win stocks.
Oh, my goodness, and spending them he shall do. DGF only has one more opportunity. So far has dodged all of the hazards. You just need to get the one touch.
Yeah, but Maiko just needs a couple more touches as well. And like with a character like Rachel, that's going to be very easy to find with some straight projectile hits like we're finding right here.
Oh, man. Tried to go for the 6B, but no cigar. I mean, Maiko barely even getting touched in that last round.
No, at that final sequence, Maiko did not interact with DGF at all. That was just all projectile hit after projectile hit after projectile hit. And DGF playing so aggressive because he knows that he cannot get timed out. He knows he cannot afford to have to hold all this pressure. But at the same time, he's just getting clipped by these projectiles that are flying around the screen and taking that damage and pushing him into even more of a critical position.
I mean, we saw some really good stuff out there by DGF, trying to switch up the pacing, trying to ensure that, okay, I want to make it so that Maiko can't just own me for free or have his anti-aggro game plan going on for free. But I mean, now DGF trying to refine that rhythm or lack of rhythm thereof.
All right, back here to mid-screen, and once again, just baiting out the proc from the George. That's going to be a great anti-air from DGF, but unfortunately not able to finish the combo. Maiko now taking advantage now that DGF is in the corner, going to be putting that pressure back on here with the bat sets, with the traps. We got the pull right on top of DGF. We got the super as well, and will it be enough? Yes, it will. Look at that sequence, Avian.
Oh my goodness gracious, Maiko showcasing why he is one of the premier NA Rachels. The moment that anything touches your block, push you in hit stun, like, it just feels like it's over. I mean, DGF have to have the composure to take a round. Already insane, but Maiko trying to shut down any sort of hope that people have had, one frog at a time.
Oh, absolutely. Maiko finding that throw here against DGF, taking him to the other side of the screen. And, Maiko's just not going to fall. It's like, you know what? I'm going to go for what I've been going for before. I'm not going to go for that hyper-aggressive approach. I do not want DGF close to me. I'm just going to just toss out these Lobelias, activate these Lotuses, and then force DGF to approach. And DGF taking that as a calling card now up in a Maiko's face. Can we open up Maiko here is the question, though. Get assault.
Here comes George. Not going to do much of anything, though.
All right. Yeah, no, here's the thing about George, right? We've yet to see DGF really get hit by George in a major way, but the real key part about George being on the ground makes it so that DGF can't just full book it at Maiko with that sprint speed, right?
Right.
And we have to kind of hop around and, play a bit of a hot potato there with George, and can't quite approach Maiko as easily.
Speaking of not being able to approach Maiko, seems like DGF all out of answers so far. Sends it there with the 6C, but again, the burst from Maiko.
Hold. We got 15 seconds, 14 seconds, 13 seconds. We don't have OD to stop the timer. DGF knows it's over. Oh, not! The super time. Wait.
Wait, hold. You have to kill now.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Is it enough? No, it is not. What an unfortunate way to go out, but that is the name of the game. That is the matchup right there. DGF being taken down by Maiko as Maiko moves forward through the loser side of the bracket.
What a heartbreaker there for DGF. I mean, it felt like you were finally on the verge of putting something together there in a matchup that seems so doomed. In the moment that you start to get a sequence going, the timer ticks down to 0. I mean, great performance, but sometimes it's just, it looks too bleak. It looks too bleak.
Absolutely. I didn't want to be a Debbie Downer, but when I said, oh, he knows it's over, it's like, how do you get that damage? How do you find that amount of damage in such a short period of time? It's near impossible. And unfortunately, DGF not able to find it, has been knocked out of the bracket. But what a great performance he has shown off so far. Losing twice never feels good, but making 7th place here with, once again, such a stack, such a large Blaze Blue Central Fiction bracket is great to see.
You still get the hardware. You still get the glory of saying, hey, I made it in one of the biggest tournaments, even when BlazBlue was basically an afterthought at this tournament.
Right.
Was able to pick up those wins. Now, sitting here, been a main game for, what is it, 3 years running?
Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years running. And saying, hey, I can still get these top 8s. I can still compete with some of the new guys that are coming through. Always a good thing to put on.
Mm-hmm. And also, let's shift our focus to Maigo for a little bit too, because Maigo has been showing up in such a huge fashion here in 2026, really putting that practice in, putting in that work, and making some great performances at recent tournaments like Texas Showdown.
Yeah, I mean, it's always hard to play characters like that and not get bored. You know, you're always fighting against getting bored. Like, it's like if you have a character like Rachel and you overextend, even though she does have those prime defensive options, still very tough.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to be seeing more of Rachel and more of all the characters we've been seeing so far in just a moment. But I believe we're going to be sending y'all to a quick ad break. So stay tuned for some more Blaze Blue Central Fiction Top 8 coming up very soon.
This is looking really good. I'm not even gonna front like that.
It's a bold hit. Optimal.
It's the surge. It's the one, Jake. You ready?
I've never seen a mix like this before. That's refreshing.
That was a great combination. Right?
What? Why does he get a White Claw surge? Did I get zoned out?
Tough break, Jake. Gotta have that championship mentality.
That's the best assist I've seen since Captain
Introducing Parry.gg, a new and improved choice to run your next tournament, featuring a native mobile app, powerful organizer tools for any event size, and the fastest bracket platform on the market. Try Parry.gg for your next local and discover why other organizers are making the switch. Yeah, so I guess Tenno has apparel and accessories for all your favorite fighting games and FGC personalities, but this is CO weekend and they have something even better. I promise there's no bias here. Official CO t-shirts and sleeveless shirts, perfect for going for a swim in our beautiful August Orlando air. It's all available at their booth here at CO 2026 or online at merch.10-o.gg. Level up your game with Controller Chaos. Shop for custom designed controllers to use on all your favorite consoles. Save 10% off with coupon code CEO26. That's CEO26, so check them out today and grab your next controller right away. Whether it's sunglasses outside, blue light glasses inside, or night driving lenses in the dark, Zenni has affordable eyewear in all shapes and sizes for everyone. Starting now, use code CEO to buy one for 15% off, buy two, get 20% off, or buy three and get 25% off now until August 31st.
hope you guys enjoyed the break, and I hope that you're ready for even more BlazBlue Central Fiction here in beautiful, not so sunny Orlando anymore. Nighttime, you know. It's prime time here for fighting games. We have the last game of the day in the arena. We have the last game over here. And what a banger to close it out, other than BlazBlue, Salty.
Absolutely. Yeah, no. There's so many great games playing their finals right now. BlazBlue Central Fiction being one of them. And we're hopping right into this next set between Dawn and Koopa Claus. Already seeing both these players on stream. Koopa Claus, though, losing that winners semis match to drop down to losers.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking here, just from the initial matches, Koopa Claus definitely should have this in the bag, but Dawn, I feel like he has, or his X Factor more like is the stamina that he has in these tournaments, man. Like, as set goes on, playing a character like Relius, you're still able to execute everything and stay calm in those scrambles, especially like, again, we're in loser's quarter. This is a big tournament. The fact you're able to do that is so impressive.
Absolutely. And Dawn is looking to just really cement that fact with a perfect here on Koopa Claus. Not just yet, but we're going to be fighting there with that very deep overhead on Koopa Claus. What a great first round for Dawn to set that momentum.
Yeah, a perfect to get things kicked off exactly the way you want to see it. Coming down from the loser side, wow, how did that drill hit?
You know, I'm not going to ask too many questions, but Dawn does not want us to ask anymore either with that throw counter. Ribcage comes out from Koopa Claus. Dawn getting opened up and going to be taken to the corner with this sequence.
All right, see what's going on here. Half of the fireball is outside. I like that, though, not spending the barrier just yet. Just wants to stay open with the bits. Good frame trap.
That's going to be a counter assault coming out from Dawn, getting Koopa Claus off him for just a little bit, but Koopa Claus doing that super jump all the way to the top corner of the screen to set up those bits, reestablish with projectiles. Dawn not going to have any of it here.
Man, bringing back the wifey one frame at a time. Koopa Claus wants no parts of it, still has the ribcage up. Could spell trouble if you're not getting mixed. The cross-up so potent.
All right, getting pressured by this doll. Dawn now moving up here with the Relius. Koopa Claus does not have that barrier on him any longer and is trying to escape, trying to run away from Dawn here.
Oh, just barely gets out of the way of the doll, but runs right back into it. Dawn's mastery has been incredible so far of the puppet.
Oh my god, we forgot about the final hit. Avian, we forgot about the final hit.
I thought it was over. I was about to talk about how Koopa Claus can start coming back, but then we get the Shoryuken coming out here from Wyeth.
We got the... There was like no reaction from Koopa Claus either. It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I mean, fair. Don't call him a little left, right.
All right, here we go. Dawn taking that first win here against Koopa Claus. I know, things were looking really good for Koopa Claus at the start of this tournament, so this could potentially be his run ending at 5th if Dawn is able to keep this momentum going, as Dawn has been, on a roll with all the tournaments he's been entering so far. Okay, blocking out those projectiles and immediately taking back his turn.
Oh my gosh. Look at that. Straight hits galore and the pickups to go along with it. So good! TRM for real.
Oh my god, is Dawn going to get another perfect? We're in active flow here, going to be getting a little bit of meter. A little bit more
be one more.
Normal. Oh my god, no way. We got another perfect. Dawn is in control, is in the driver's seat.
Man, so scary. I mean, if you were to talk about the way that we described Dawn's offense, you'd think we talk about Izanami, right? So impressive. It seems like there aren't too many options in terms of defensive counterplay. Like, I mean, but at the end of the day, Dawn is just too good at controlling both of his characters.
Right. Taking turns when we need to and managing that gauge to a T as well. Dawn, one of the best pilots with Relius, currently on the face of this planet. Koopa Claus, though, still alive and not out just yet, right? Dawn still needs to take this last round in order to take this set. And Koopa Claus is certainly not giving him an easy time now here in the corner. Once again, we've seen Koopa Claus fold when Dawn has him in the corner, and we're going to be seeing him fold yet again as we go for that crush trigger.
And you have one more shot, potentially two with a burst. That's number one. And you know that with how optimal Dawn is, the next combo is going to kill. This could be it, especially with 50. Goes for the crush trigger there. Wants to get the extension, and the fist bumps come out before the super flash even procs. Dawn continues on 2-0.
Avian, I'm I think that might be the biggest curveball I think I've seen in this top 8 so far. I did not expect it to be such a dominant performance from Dawn coming out right out of the gates. And yeah, no, Koopa Claus now out at 5th. One of the players who took down Fenritti, 2nd place at Combo Breaker 2026. And out just like that. Just goes to show how crazy all these players are.
I mean, secured his spot in the top 4. I feel like, you know, just according to his par, I mean, if you talk to Dawn, like, one of the things that he has is an absurd amount of confidence. Like, if you go into him, into anybody, you'll be like, yo, you got, like, Monarch into Fenritti into, like, in, like, Dogra returns. He, like, rises up from the grave. He's like, listen, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess Fenritti, like, might be a little bit of a hard matchup. I mean, I don't really see too much. Like, Monarch should be free. Like, dude, it's like, yo, how do you, like, just exude this much confidence this late into both the bracket and the day, man?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, let's be honest here. Dawn has the results to back it up a lot of the time, too, right? And that's also the crazy part. Is, like, you can't hate the guy for being as confident as he is because you got to look at his offline results. I mean, like, dude plays online all the time, but when we start looking at his offline results, his first major, if I remember correctly, was Combo Breaker 2024. And every single major he's gone to since, whether it's Frosty Faustings, whether it's CEO last year as well, he's made top 8 every single time without fail. He is that consistent of a player. He's that strong of a player. And, you know, as much as you may want to write him off because of his pride is well-founded.
Yeah, it's well-founded. It is a part of what even, you know, in a chicken and the egg scenario, it's almost what makes him as strong as he is. You can't really play a character like Relius without having a little bit of a chip on your shoulder and some smack talk to back it up.
Absolutely. And as fighting game players, dude, you can't be second-guessing yourself all the time. You can't be expecting the opponents to DP on every single wake up. You just have to commit to it. And, I mean, that's kind of just how he plays. He plays with his heart on his sleeve.
In fighting games, a wrong choice is better than a late choice. Every single time. We're playing a game of frames here, Salty. Our standard unit of measurement is 16 milliseconds. You can't be late even for a second. You need to have confidence, and you need to make sure that all of your moves are done from a sense of sureness.
But, you know, all this talk about frames and all that, you know, how much do you think is going to apply to this matchup we have coming up?
Oh, never that. I mean, this is racial. Like, you can't, not much you can do. I mean, however, it is Lychee as well.
Right.
Very strong character in regards to space control. Gets the push advantage much harder than a lot of characters. Yeah,
we're starting things off pretty strong here. The danger of the staff when it comes to playing against Rachel here is its ability to kind of knock Rachel out of the air and kind of prevent her from setting up the Lobelias, setting up the Lotuses, setting up George in the way that she wants to. So we gotta be very careful, very sure of how we use our wind stocks to avoid it so that we can send out our projectiles and fill up this screen. And right now, Uri has just had complete, utter control of this screen space as we continue to run down Mygo in this round.
Yeah, Mygo using the guard cancel. Watch trying to find one opportunity, and for good measure at that.
I love it. The TP in response to Mygo trying to go for that overhead.
And auto time setup to make sure that you get stabbed back instantly.
You know, people looking at this are probably, and that aren't familiar with Lychee because, you know, Uri doesn't play that much, right? You know, people are going to look at this and be like, oh, Lychee kind of looks like a zoner. But she has a DP. Yes. And, in fact, she has one of the best DPs in the game.
Yes. Because
it sets up a staff immediately afterwards. So you never want Lychee to get a successful DP to land on you.
I mean, it is so crazy the potency that this character has. Like, it feels like Lychee can basically make any scenario that she wants happen for herself. If she wants to sit there and control space, she can. If she wants to sit there, mix you up with left, right, she can do that too. If she wants to set up the high lows. I mean, we've seen it already before in that previous round.
All right, here we go, though. Mygo finally able to set up some projectiles and send Uri all the way to full screen. Got George to proc and gets the conversion off of it as well. George coming down once again. Going to hold Uri in the corner. Counterstall coming out of the perfect time, though. Allowing Uri to jump right on out and then keep Mygo stuck in the corner with the staff right above his head.
Oh, man, what a conversion off of that drive. Now sitting here about even in terms of the health gauge. You cannot let Mygo get an activation off, and sure doesn't there with the DP. Shigi gets stabbed back just in time.
Staff is now back. Maigo going up to the top right corner of the screen. Gotta worry about the Staff, and we get swept by it again. Uri not giving Maigo a moment to breathe.
And Maigo playing by the philosophy of not getting bored. Knows that even though he's currently at a life deficit, it can all change in an instant, especially with this EA.
Yeah,
Sitting there powered up by the overdrive, just goes ahead and kills.
Yeah, that was pretty much guaranteed there for Maigo as Uri kind of locked himself into that cross-up. All right, instant Staff set to start off this round. Round of peace with both these players. Uri looking really good at the start here. Okay, finishing off this combo with the DP. Sets up the Staff again. Oh, and nice timing there with the 2C from Maigo, setting up the electric pair, getting that guard point to blow right on through that Staff.
Here we go, purple throw. Once again, you know we tech those. I love this here from Uri, just slowly trying to walk down Maigo into the corner. I mean, you still have to deal with the wind.
Oh, and there it is, the JCs.
Oh!
Hey, I'm a hitbox now.
Yeah, literally turning yourself into a hitbox. Maigo once again getting clipped by the Staff, gets clipped once again. Oh my goodness, how many times can I say it? Burst comes out. Maigo trying to hang on to this first game, but Uri making it so impossible.
Yeah, I always love how Uri manipulates that Staff in the way where we're having it go for the overhead arc, where it's immediately locking off Maigo's airspace first instead of chasing him up, which makes it so that Maigo can't really, escape it with a windstock. Instead,
Right.
just has to hold it there in the corner.
All right. On the board first is Uri. Maigo trying to go ahead and return the favor, but it has been so hard with how much awareness that Uri's been playing with.
Okay, here's the Staff. Oh, yeah, just going to have the Staff hop right on over, hitting that perfect angle there onto Maigo. Unfortunately, not able to finish that combo, but finds the DP anti-air instead.
Okay, so Staff once again trying to play around this win.
Yeah, once again, see, power always popping up that Staff right on top of Maigo as that looming cloud. You cannot, move yourself into that hitbox. So then that also just cuts off an entire angle there for Maigo to try and zone from.
Now Maigo's trying to set up the pace a little bit. Electric chair comes out. Wait, once again, the Staff still online for Uri. Could be really scary as we see that come back on the return.
Yeah, we have Staff on Lychee at the moment, though. We're going to find the hit. Yeah, second hit there with the Staff coming down after the DP. Right under that super, so it's not really going to do too much as we fall down like a sitting duck, and Uri is able to immediately capitalize off of it.
One more opportunity out here for Uri, trying to secure this loser semi's appearance, trying to get that fight against Dawn. What does Maigo have to say about it? All he has to say is, I cannot block those 50-50s, neither can I. Oh my goodness gracious! Uri with just the immaculate pressure.
Oh yeah, I'm going for the low Staff to catch George right off rip. DP comes out. Uri just in complete control. Staff on the comeback. Counter assault timed at the perfect moment to get Uri off him as the Staff comes back. George locking down Uri for just a little bit. Can we open up with these overheads? Yes, we will. Overhead after overhead, finally opening up Uri, and now we're finally starting to get some pressure going, but Uri jabbing out as Maigo with those normals right in front of his face.
Oh, beyond dead here. Popping the OD. Goes right into the super. And Uri with the fist bump already advancing to the loser semifinals.
Yes, indeed. Uri showing off Lychee and such how strong a character she really is. Maigo also doing the same with Rachel. And you know what's so funny? We almost got the Power 5 here in Blaze with Central Fiction right here in this single top 8. Because right now we have Carl. We have Izanami. We have Rachel. We have Lychee. That is the Power 4. And then we almost got Izayoi. Yeah. But Maigo and Hyper had to play against each other right before top 8, and Maigo beat Hyper, making his run end at 9th place. And we